we went out to eat on Saturday and sitting at a restaurant, and the waitress came over, and she was talking about how their jerk chicken there is very good, and we was like, oh wow, that jerk chicken, yeah, Eva was like, do you know the spot called UJerk? And she said, oh yeah, I hate that place. And then she was like, okay, yeah, why you hate the place? I was expecting rice and peas, oxtail, Americans say oxtails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oxtails, rice, I was thinking like new Jamaican spot for downtown, and, they don't got none of that stuff. I stood there smiling the whole time, So, hey, maybe one day we might do oxtail. I think that's when she started realizing I was the owner. But the thing that I was sharing with Eva, when she said, I hate that place, there was not one feeling that changed. In my disposition, my emotions, my heart didn't drop. I stood there smiling, looking at her the entire time, and just listening to her criticize my restaurant. And it taught me a valuable lesson. There was a time where I would have felt some type of way. You know what I mean? You put something out that you really want everybody to love. And the truth is, there's some people that are going to have that very same feeling. I hate that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to work hard to try to present the best product that I possibly can, so more and more people can love it, right? Because the very same day I had somebody this in the morning said they love the place, right? But we sometimes get so crippled when people criticize our business, but I was so detached from that. I just know that I have to do the best that I can to present this thing as the best that it can be presented. But nevertheless, it can be the most perfect product and people will still not like it. And that's okay. And that's fine. And when you're scared of that, when you're not scared of that no more, when you're not scared of that rejection or that feeling of like, people think that your script or, whatever your album sucks, and you know that you've done the best that you can to get the best out there, it's freedom in that. It's total freedom. It's like, it's okay, no problem. There's other restaurants over here, we might not be your swag, Trust me, there are times I want rice and peas also, but UJerk don't got it, and that gotta be okay, And here's another thing. Sometimes when you hear that, because that's probably the top criticism, right, that UJerk will get. Oh man, I thought you guys would have oxtails and rice and peas and all this stuff like that. Americans say peas and rice. I'll say, you're not in a Jamaican spot, right, when they say peas and rice. But anyways, that's in the conversation. But I thought you had rice and peas and oxtail and all that stuff like that. And you listen to the criticism, and something in you sometimes say to yourself, should you bend your entire company just because you're hearing a few critics, even though there's tons of people that love it exactly the way it is? You hear some critics telling you what their perception is. You might make a temporary decision or a permanent decision over temporary feelings. And instead of thinking about UJerk from 100 restaurants down or nationwide brand where it's becoming the norm. It's like, imagine you went to KFC and was like, oh, I thought y'all were gonna be sit-down restaurant for fried chicken, versus seeing what it is now, right? I had to be true to the brand, which is the thing. True to who you are. And I think that's a lesson right there. You gotta be true to who you are. If you change it because that's what you wanna do. Change it because you wanna pivot the direction of your business. But if every single customer says the same thing, then obviously, you may look into it. But if majority of people love your stuff and you got a few critics that's like, I want it this way, but you know that you're trying to build something that people will one day just look up and say, yes, this is like a McDonald's, stay true to it. And be true to you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to sleep by that. At the end of the day, you're not going to feel like you compromised because of pressure or because of anything like that. You know, you stay true to yourself. So, you know, when I heard her, I smiled. I said, hey, man, you know, we're going to get better with it. You know what I mean? You know, and I said, we'll never have that. So I said, don't worry about that. But we might have oxtail. I said, we might have oxtail. I might say never now and change my mind next year. But the point is, at that moment, it was like, hey, we ain't going to do that. You know, and it's not going to be like I'm trying to, you know, hey, no, okay, yeah, so we would definitely try. No, it's like, hey, we're not going to have rice and peas. No, I don't go to McDonald's and ask McDonald's, do they have tacos with there? You know, I'm not doing that. It's a different company, different brand. I go there for where I go there for, and then when I want to go to get some real rice and peas and stuff like that, I go to the restaurants that got that. You know what I mean? And I told her we'll provide the oxtail, and she walked off, and I looked with a smile, and I kept on drinking.